I see this really interesting attempt at rugged individuality in a 6x8 rectangle, and I feel like you're all the same, except for the little push pins of the pictures. There's different pictures. Yours is named Jenny, and his is named Sujara, but it's the same people.
And this is how they are, and they're just like the zombies, and there's no joy in there, there's no fun. There's always like the wacky woman who decorates her cubicle, and that's the most she can do there. You got to give her credits, right? The wacky cubicle woman.
The basis for their life is worry. I'm worried, you know, maybe I'll get fired. I'm worried maybe my company will go out of business. I'm worried I can't keep spinning the plates on paying the bills. I'm worried about how do I send my kids to college. I'm worried, what if the transmission of my car breaks? That's, you know, 2 or 3, I can't fix it. People live in a sea of worry, and it eats at them.
Those signs that people held up during the Depression didn't say looking for gainful employment in a cubicle. They said looking for work. Work is what we're looking for. Job is just a unit of measurement. Work is what we're going after.
It's time to look in the mirror and say, it's not the economy, it's my economy. It's my little world of where I am. I need to improve. I'm not going to wait for the economy to come back, because frankly, the economy is doing great in this country.
So I'm here on Wall Street, the financial center of the universe, the financial capital of the world. This is where most people's money goes to at least be held for a time, right? With interest rates in banks being effectively zero, and many experts are predicting it's going to stay at zero for the next 10, 20, even 30 years, people feel like they don't have any choice but to put their future into equities, to put their future into the hands of other people on this stock market, and hope that the stock market goes up, hope that the stocks that their advisors pick or that they pick goes up. That's one way to go, I guess. It's my personal belief that if you put your future into the hands of yourself, in other words, you have earning power by yourself, I think you're a better investment than these guys. I think you controlling your future is a better option than handing over your retirement to these guys. The average household income in the United States is approximately $50,000 a year, what they call the middle class. To reach the top 25% of income earners, you need to earn at least $90,000 a year. To reach the top 10% would be a household income of $140,000, the top 5%, $190,000, and to be in the top 1%, you'd need a combined household income of at least $380,000 a year. So here's the question. What do you think would give you the best chance to move up and get to the top 10%, the top 5%, the top 1% or beyond? In my opinion, and in the opinion of many, many experts, the answer is to become an entrepreneur, to become your own boss.
I think you have to be a business owner. I can't, the only time I ever say to someone it'd be great to be an employee is when they've already told me they've surrendered. I only tell people who are wounded spiritually that they should be an employee. And it's that feeling that you get when you pick up the backpack off the little Cub Scout and say, "Don't worry, little guy, we'll get you back to the camp." You know, it is in no way kindness when I tell someone they'd be a great employee.
The other status symbol really increasingly is lifestyle. I mean, people can own their own business, maybe even work out of their house. That, I tell you, people admire that. Like, gosh, I wish I could do that.
The spirit of the entrepreneur is to be a risk taker and to be resourceful and unstoppable, and to have a vision of yourself beyond where you are and not willing to settle for life as it is.
You think about the great entrepreneurs, they're visionary, they have heart, they're willing to do today what others won't so they can do tomorrow what others can't.
Personally, I don't think of the new economy, the old economy. I create my own economy. The entrepreneur's in control. I decide what the economy is going to be like.
In the world of entrepreneurship, there are no limits. You can make as much as you want, depending on how much you want to work and how smart you are and how great a team you put together.
There's no more lifetime rewarding business than being an entrepreneur.
Why in America, where anyone could be anything, would people want to give up their freedom and become effectively a modern-day slave, told shut up and be here every morning at 7:30, leave at 5:30, and do what I tell you?
If people decide to become an entrepreneur and work for themselves, They have some traditional options, but they're riskier than you might think.
Any kind of a retail business, retail build-outs is extremely expensive. Even just these small little yogurt stores where they're putting little yogurt machines and you get all the different flavors, you're spending $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 to open a yogurt shop.
I would love to buy a Dunkin' Donuts, but it's $500,000 or so to start. I don't quite have that just-in-case money.
Risking lose it all, and most guys do 2 or 3 times, and even big guys like Branson, because I'm such a fan of his, half his companies don't work. If you make $1 million, your problems are going to go. If you make $1 billion, your problems are really going to go. Just the opposite. You and I know when you're making $1 million, you get $1 million responsibilities. You make $1 billion, you got 1,000 times $1 million responsibilities.
And most people say, I'd love to be my own boss. 70% of Americans would love to be their own boss, according to recent polls. But they don't know how to get there. Because what are you going to do? One, you could buy an existing business. If somebody's selling an existing business, you have to ask why. Usually because it's probably hard. It's probably not making as much money as they hope. 2, they could buy a franchise. A little less risk, proven system, but it's expensive to be able to do that. 3, they could start something from scratch. And that's where a lot of people feel like, I don't have the chops to do it. I don't have the money. I don't have the product idea. I don't have the expertise. I don't have whatever it's going to take to be able to get there. And I can't risk my family to do it. So 4th, they could become an investor. A lot of people in this town invest to try and figure out a way, but you got to be pretty smart with that game too, right?
Venture capitalists, who are the very best and most sophisticated in investing in new breakthrough businesses, make it on 1 out of 11. That means 10 out of 11 are mediocre or fail. Most of them fail. That's the risk there. An angel investor is lucky to get 1 out of 15 or 20.
A business is a team sport. Like, I have to have accountants, I have to have engineers, I have to have system designers, I have to have sales, marketing, I have to have accounting, I have to have mission statements, I have to have legal and all that. The average Joe Schmo, even me, I go out there, I don't have the skills to put a business together.
I think the bottom line for the 4 traditional options is they take money, sometimes a lot of it. They take expertise, and they take time. All of that adds up to just too much risk for most people.
I bought a business from somebody else, and it was a lot of work. And, you start wondering, what did I just buy? Because I guess ultimately I own your email list, and I just overpaid for it.
People that start their own business, they spend a lot of money, they spend a lot of time, a lot of effort to get things started. And the more you invest on the upfront, the harder you typically work at it.
I can tell you what the success rate is of a restaurant.
What is it?
They're crazy enough. About 90% of them fail.
About 90%? In how quickly?
Year less.
Wow.
And if we're talking non-franchise, we're talking franchise,
Sure.
That's totally different.
Yeah.
But our students aren't getting franchise restaurants.
You got to invest big money.
Exactly. And with someone like McDonald's, you've had to work with the company for a long period of time, really know the
Even have a chance of investing $1 million.
have a chance, and it's a slim chance.
What if there was a way that you had all the proven aspects, the comfort aspects, and you could still control your own life? What if there was both? In other words, you didn't have to create everything from scratch. You didn't have to be a super leader. All you had to do, what if there was a proven product already? You didn't have to create the product. And there's a proven system already, proven training already. Everything except an employer. That was the only thing that you didn't have. Do you think more people would be open to working for themselves in that environment?